And welcome to lesson 2 on circles. Today we're going to learn about the formula associated with circles. So let's get started. To start with, I'm just going to say no recap on what we've done before. Just all I'm going to say to you is cherry pies, delicious. Apple pies are too. This may sound silly, but hopefully this will be something that will remind you of the formulas that you need to learn. See if you can link this saying, cherry pies delicious, apple pies are too, to the two sayings that you can see here. Remember the formula you can see at the top there, C equals that funny symbol which is pi, D, and A equals that funny symbol pi r squared. So I'll just tell you the equations that we need to learn are above us, and the funny pseudonym that I said was cherry pies delicious, apple pies are too. Hopefully you can see where the cherry pies delicious, apple pies are too comes in. Now pi is a number that we're going to investigate in our lesson, but pi is 3.141, and the number goes on. In fact, the number carries on forever without ever repeating at all. And we're going to investigate that number in the lesson. However, you might need to know how to get the pi button up on your calculator. Now, if you have a calculator like this, I need you to make sure that you can see this button here, called the shift button, and this button here, which is 10 to the times 10 to the power x. Now, to get the pi button, which is this symbol, we need to press the shift button, the shift key here, that you can just see there. You must press that first before pressing this button down here. As you can see, there's a little pi symbol there. Now that will bring up a pi on the calculator, which if you press equals will give you 3.141, and it'll go on. But that's the pi button. Now here we are, we have a circle. This is going to be the example, and in this one I'm going to work out the circumference, which if you remember from last lesson is the distance all the way around the outside. Now for this, all we need to know is that cherry pies are delicious, which obviously C is for the circumference, and we've got this pi, which you can get up on a calculator, and we're going to times that pi by the diameter, which in this case is 10. So if we do pi times 10 on the calculator, you might get the answer 10 pi. If that's the case, then what I'd like you to do is just to make sure that you press this button here, this SD button, which will change it back into a decimal, which should give you 31.41, and because we measured it in centimetres, our answer will be in centimetres. That's quite easy, but remember the reason we chose the 10 was because we were given the diameter here. So next question, I'm going to ask you to work out the area of the circle, which of course is the area, is the bit in the middle here. So we need to know that apple pies are 2. Be careful, that 2 actually means squared, but let's have a look. We've got this pi, and we're going to times it by the radius, which we can see here is 6 squared. Now for this you need to be careful, because the first thing you need to do is square the 6. So you get 6 times 6 is 36, and we're going to times that by pi. Again, remember to press the SD button on the calculator, and that will give you, and this will give you 113.04. Now, because this is area, it's measured in centimetres squared. So you've got the two examples there. I want you to make notes on, and just try this one. Now for this one, I would like you to work out the circumference and also the area. Now the circumference hopefully you'll find quite easy, but the area you might need to think about. Anyway, pause the video,